Yeah, we live. I'm back. Follow the drip, the vlog, okay? This is an educational episode for everybody out there. If you dibbling and dabbling and have any type of interaction in the street, you know what I'm saying? I gotta introduce my guy, Pete. He my guy, you know what I'm saying? Attorney at law, Peter Giardino, you know what I'm saying? He's located in Northwest Arkansas. And I left off the Esquire, excuse me, sir.
It's alright, it's alright. I'm just Pete to most people anyway.
Yeah, you Pete to me, you my guy. So I got him to agree to sit down and we're going to just chop it up on some basic law information, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's a lot of young individuals, they be involved in things and have habits that have them on the other side of the law. And a lot of times, people, what I found out is that you don't know the law until you get involved with it. You know what I mean? Like, the only way you find out about certain things is once you get into it. You know what I mean? Basically, you get in the shit.
Man, and the sad thing is there are a lot of people who've been in and out the law and still don't understand what the hell happening to them. I mean, that's the sad part, really.
Yeah. I can vouch for that because it's a lot of times where I be in situations and, you know, me being a convict, I've been to prison and so what, you know what I'm saying? You still learn every time, you know what I mean? Like, it's a new situation and it's not new, but you find out that, wait a minute, it's got more red tape or it's got more strings attached, you know what I mean?
Man, well, that's just the law being complicated, man. You gotta understand, there are a lot of people in here or in the system who, they're not in the system and they understand all of what's going on. They get in the system, they don't know what's going on. And the attorney, the guy ain't explaining to them what's going on. Instead, they shouting at them, oh, if you don't do this, you're going to go to jail for the next 20 years. You're going to go to jail for life. So by the time they get in the prison system and then out and violated on parole, they might have been in and out 4 or 5 times. They might have had 3 or 4 different attorneys, but ain't nobody ever told them what the hell was going on. They just let it happen to them.
Yeah, that's part of this creative, cute-ass word called recidivism, you know what I mean? It's hard to pronounce, you know what I'm saying? It look weird to spell it, but it got a big-ass meaning. It means that the system basically recycle you, you know what I mean? It's a system based on recycling you, based on you getting in the system and then returning over and over and over again. And what Pete said is one of the main reasons why the recidivism rate is so high, you know what I mean? Because people don't know, and the certain attorneys don't give understanding information. That's what I'm gonna say. You can give me a lot of legal jargon and I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But if you can break it down to a level where people can understand it, I think you get better results. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And
you get fewer clients because people ain't getting locked up over and over again.
You get more clients.
I mean, that's
good at what you do.
That's a different story. That and the police are funky. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't help that. It's you know, a lot of cops do a lot of good jobs. And unfortunately, this profession has told me there are a lot of folks out there who just dead to rights guilty. You did exactly what the police said you did. But there's more folks than there needs to be because the number should be 0. And there's way more than 0 folks who ain't done nothing, who haven't committed any crimes, who haven't done anything wrong, who still end up in the system because the system wanted them. You see, recidivism, you know what recidivism means? We're already familiar with you, so you lost the benefit of the doubt. You're going to get put in again. You know what I'm saying? And the very last trial I had was all about that same exact thing. The only reason my clients ended up in there, they didn't end up in there because there was a lot of evidence pointing towards them. They ended up in there because they heard a name of who could do it, but that name didn't sound familiar. So they just searched around for a name they thought that kind of sounded like that name, and all of a sudden you looking at life in prison because somebody gave up a name that kind of sounds like yours, but ain't your name at all. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous, and that's railroading at its finest, if you ask me.
Targeting.
Yeah, targeting too.
You know what it is? Hunting. It's hunting.
Yeah, believe me, Pete, I've been this same guy, this same color, you know what I mean, this same gender my whole life. So I know perfectly and personally what you're talking about. You know what I mean? It's like young men my color, you know what I mean, my age, we aren't given the benefit of the doubt ever. You know what I'm saying? ever, and that's some shit that gotta change. You know what I mean? And the only way it's gonna change is if we have attorneys who will hold them accountable. You know what I mean? And I commend you on your role, baby, because I remember when you started, bro. I remember when you started, you know what I'm saying? You was like, guy, you know what I mean? You was like, I'm doing this paralegal thing. So before we get all the shoo-shooing, because we'll shoo-shoo all day, me and you, and talk about everything. Let's start at the beginning. How did you come to the realization or the conclusion, like, hey, I want to get involved into the justice system or the judicial realm, or, you know, occupation as an occupation? When did you that light bulb pop up?
I didn't come from a family where a lot of people that graduated from college. I think I'm the fourth person in my family on my father's side to graduate from college.
So before you get far in that, tell everybody where you originally from, because Pete is not Arkansan.
Well, shit.
He is now.
Let me blow your mind.
Tell me.
I was born in 1985, Washington Regional Hospital.
Whoa.
See, my family came down here in the 80s to get rid of all of what they had going on in New York. They had a whole bunch of trouble going on in Brooklyn. So they came down here. And they came down here in like the ass end of 83.
Okay.
And then 85 I was born.
Okay.
And then my father always used to joke about Arkansas because, you know, before there was a natural state, there was a land of opportunity. Yeah, well, they was living on $30 a month, Section 8 housing, you know what I'm saying, having food stamps, you know, and my mom worked in a convenience store. He didn't see no opportunity here, so he left back to New York.
Okay.
So I'm 100% Arkansas born.
Okay.
I'm Brooklyn raised though.
Okay.
And I mean, not like 2000, you know, hippie, let's go to a coffee shop. I'm talking like 90s Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying?
Raised and born and raised.
Yeah. Okay. So Brooklyn raised, but you know, there was always a part of my heart that loved Arkansas, that came back, and like I tell everybody, man, Arkansas has done more for me and my life than Brooklyn ever did. Brooklyn taught me how to deal with tough situations people shouldn't have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Arkansas taught me how to put hard work down and get shit done.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Because, you know, here, that's what we consist of, a lot of hard workers, you know what I mean?
Like diamonds in the rough.
Yeah,
that's what Arkansas is.
That's a good way, diamonds in the rough. Y'all heard it from Pete, you know what I mean?
It's true.
Coin that shit. Yeah. Okay, so you grew up in New York.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what's up. Alright, so you graduated.
Yeah.
High school.
Mm-hmm.
How you end up back down here?
Alright, well, hey, see, this is the deal. I was what you call a knucklehead.
I know exactly what you mean.
So, about 2002, towards the end of my junior year, it had gotten to the point where it was hard for my parents to control me, where I was just out just doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of on a path where I wasn't going to be an attorney,
yeah.
I was going to need an attorney.
Yeah.
And so when my family felt like they ran out of options, so they sent me down here to live with my grandmother. So I actually ended up graduating high school at a Bentonville High School up here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you was bucking in high school.
I had a lot of I had problems in junior high school. What you talking about? I was suspended 7 times and expelled once from school.
Okay.
And that's before I even touched Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came down here, you know, I finished up and I always had plans to go back to New York. Application was on the wait list at NYU, was going to go to Stony Brook.
Okay.
But U of A also accepted me, and I decided to give it a try over here. And a lot of people don't know, you know, I'm Italian, but my mother is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
You know, full blood, so I got I guess they call it like a minority council, something like that, diversity council or something, but something that's special. And I remember I was just still a knucklehead first semester down here, thought I knew everything, and I really wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And that man came to me. And I'm sitting here at the U of A, I still got that cocky Brooklyn, you know, I know better than everybody attitude.
Yeah.
And he came, and I was screwing up, he came and pulled me out, and he told me that he didn't think I could cut it at the U of A. And so that insulted me. So, you know, so the next semester I took all senior level classes, and I 4.0 the whole semester.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and when he came to me, he was like, man, I'm impressed, but what I really saw was I saw somebody who actually gave a fuck about me. That's what I saw. And so from that point on, I realized, you know, why go running back to some place that ain't never really did shit for me when I'm here in a place where somebody actually give a fuck about me.
And they don't know you like that.
They don't know me like that.
And that's one thing I can say about us as Southerners, as Arkansans, you know what I mean? We ain't gotta just know you a long time and gotta be related to you. It's just some Southern hospitality type shit that's in our DNA. You know what I mean? And you felt it because you was born here. You couldn't help it. You know what I mean? You got that water in your system.
Yep.
You first born, got smacked on the ass down here. You know, hey, but that's just part of us. You know what I mean? And for you to have that type of mentality and attitude, that's why you do so much help. That's why you do so much good. Because I got a lot of partners that you done helped out. You know what I'm saying? And I know people that you done got out of jams. You know what I mean? That could have ended up being something way blown out of proportion when it was actually a simple fix. But they don't know how to find the right person. You know what I mean? Because you have to find the right attorney.
You need to find somebody gonna work.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. If they ever gonna put two things on my damn tombstone, it better be he was a great father and he never forgot where he came from.
Uh-huh.
Those are the two things I want to be known for.
That's what's up. So when someone has gotten themselves involved in something and they have court dates and they have to find a lawyer, you know, what do you think are the criteria where you should find your lawyer for your case? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's some criminal shit, you know what I mean? Like, because it's a lot of good lawyers. Everybody gonna say, well, he good. But what I done found out and learned is that you want somebody to have a personal approach with you, you know what I mean? Kind of like understand your psyche, you know what I mean?
But you don't want, you look for two things. You look for one, somebody who know what they doing. You need somebody who know what they do. You need somebody who has a good grasp on the law, who ain't coming up with stuff.
Okay.
If you find yourself caught with a quarter pound of yay, and they talk about you need to go to drug rehab, you got a lawyer who just ain't paying attention to your drug rehab, and that's what wants your fantasy that they trying to say. You know what I mean? So you want somebody who knows what they talking about. You want somebody who can look at it. You know, you can't confuse. Now I understand. You're gonna get bad news. You know, people often ask me, what's the worst case scenario? And I tell them what the worst case scenario is, and they're like, oh man, I can't believe that. I'm like,
yeah, that's just the
you
worst.
said it was the worst case scenario. That shit ain't never gonna sound good.
Never.
So you want somebody who knows what they're doing, and then the second part you want, because there are a lot, they real good attorneys out there who know what they're doing, but you want the kind of attorney that's gonna go ahead and apply that hard work, apply what they know to your case. Look, a lot of times that the police do good work, somebody's guilty, and it's a matter of trying to negotiate stuff down. But if you don't have somebody who's looking for every out, if you have somebody who closes all the doors before they even started looking to see what the doorknobs look like,
tell you, this
that's
is
the
your
guy.
option.
Yeah.
Take this option.
The guy who's trying to scare you is the guy you need to avoid. The guy who's promising you the world, but he don't know nothing about your case, that's the person you need to avoid.
He just wants some money.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People love telling people what they hear. It's the guy, it's the person who can look at you and say, man, I'd love to tell you what you want to hear, but I'm terrible at lying, so I just can't just do that. That's the kind of person that you want to look for, but you want somebody who's going to put in the effort, because normally that's one of the two problems. Either you got somebody who's going to put in the effort, but they don't know what the hell they're doing, or you got somebody who know what they're doing, but they don't want to put in the effort on you.
You just heard it here first from my guy Pete. That made so much sense, you know what I mean?
It's real talk.
Because attorneys and lawyers, they want their money up front. They want at least a nice chunk of it up front, you know what I mean? I've been in a situation, told me like we go to trial, I want up front, you know what I mean? And that ain't even no guarantee that we gonna win, you know what I'm saying? He just want his money. So if he decided to work on your case, because you still not standing there over their shoulder, you know what I mean, to see that they working, you know what I'm saying? So, great pointers.
I've had the pleasure of practicing 19 counties out of the 75 here in Arkansas.
Okay.
I mean, I get to see what it's like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's probably a little bit further north than you, but I know there's a difference between the people who attend Blytheville High, Osceola High, and Rivercrest. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't hard to tell which one's which, you know what I mean?
Okay, I can dig it. I know exactly what you're saying. So, question for you, and where you at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when you had first started, you know what I'm saying, and you kind of had started figuring your way out, and like figuring out how shit worked, so to speak. And it's a good old boy system, you know what I'm saying? And you knew that, but you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure you know the depths of the shit now. Like, was it hard You know what I mean? For you to get to a point where you were respected, because you know you are outside. You know how they rock. You know what I'm saying? So I'm knowing you had some type of pushback. You know what I mean? How did you deal with that and get through it? You know
Well, I'll tell you what. Number one, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm Arkansas. This is my home. This is the place I love. But they still some Brooklyn. You ain't never gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
So I'm saying my attitude from day one was, I ain't waiting for anybody to give me none. I'm finna take it. I'm taking it. But you wanna know what the real truth was? This is how it worked out for me. There used to be a judge around here, and you remember him. Unfortunately, you remember him. His name was Judge Story. And see, Judge Story had this thing where if you didn't talk to your attorney, he'd throw you in jail until your trial, no bond. You'd just be stuck in there. And that would get a lot of people to plea. And what he'd say is, he'd say, oh, well, you haven't been in contact with your attorney. And generally that happened when you went in there and you didn't want to take a plea deal. You know, and he said, you haven't been in contact. Well, the reason is he would send out a letter. He'd send out a docket every week. And it would say, these are all the cases. And if you want a jury trial, you need to give me 48 hours advance notice. So, what I didn't realize was this is kind of a wink, nod thing for people who had a difficult client. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't going to take a plea. Just show up in them in court and say, hey, Your Honor, he wasn't in contact. He gets thrown in jail. And now all of a sudden he's going to take a plea. Except me, nobody knows me. Nobody knew me. Nobody liked me. So nobody let me in on the little hint secret. So you know what I did was when I got a notice that said, you got to let me know 48 hours. And when I knew they was getting thrown in jail without that notice. And that notice said you got to submit it 48 hours in advance of your court date. If I didn't, instead of doing what other folks did, which was, oh, well, you know, try to work out a plea, and then if I couldn't work out a plea, watch them go. If I didn't have a plea worked out, even if it was because my client wasn't talking with me, like clockwork, 48 hours before that day, I sent out a notice saying I wanted a jury trial. And I did that, and I did that for every single case that I felt like I had to do that on. And so what these folks started seeing was, man, hey, here's this guy out here, and he's setting everything for jury trial. You know, and they started to take that shit seriously. And then, you know what I mean, when you start sending out notices like that, you got to be prepared to back that up.
Yeah, so somebody gonna test your nuts on that one.
Exactly. So I had someone who, he was like, nah, I want my jury trial. He had an ounce of methamphetamine in his underwear. They pulled that shit out on camera in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Which is day. Just watch it on camera. Just watch the ounce come out. Everything's secure. Everything's good. Yeah. The deal was if he would have took the offer, it would have been a 20-year offer. He would have to do 5 years in prison and 15 on paper. We took that to trial. We knowing he was going to get found guilty. We got up in front of him. We argued with him. They ended up sentencing him instead of possession with purpose to deliver. They sentenced him to a lesser felony, a simple possession. They gave him a 14-year sentence, even though he was a super habitual offender. He ended up having to do 2 years and 9 months. So at the end of that whole day, very first trial, he went. If he would have said yes, he would have done 5 years. But taking it to trial and losing, he saved 2 years and 3 months of his life, and that was probably the best lesson I ever learned as an attorney. Man, we ain't going to trial just to get it not guilty every time. We going to trial because we trying to beat what they do, and if they're not being reasonable, fuck them. I'm going to them 12 folks in the box. I'm gonna go talk to the regular folks. And so after that, you know what I mean? Like, I'll put it this way: the first year I practiced law, there was 6 jury trials in Washington County. I did 2 of them. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Second year I practiced law, there were 10 jury trials in Washington County. I did 2 of them. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I just kept on doing that. I actually sought out cases that had trial. A, because I like that shit. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You good.
A, because I liked it. But B, when I started doing stuff like that, the whole good old boy network thing just went out the window. It was, we're going to have to deal with him. We are going to have to. He keeps getting clients. He keeps pushing shit towards trial. He keeps putting us down towards it. He ain't afraid. He smiled on trial day. He liked that stuff. He don't even eat lunch during trial day because he's too geeked about it. At that point in time, they said, you know what, maybe it's just better to work shit out with him.
So we can say that you got a passion for this shit, you know.
Man, I've been wanting to be an attorney since I was 6 years old.
Okay.
Always wanted to be an attorney. I came from a family of carpenters and cooks and people who went to federal prison. And to be honest with you, building shit is nice, but I ain't trying to sweat like that. I do like to cook, but I don't like to cook for other fucking people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the feds just take up too much of your damn time. Yeah. So I didn't want to do none of that shit, being an attorney seemed like the perfect thing for me, man. So, you know, I've been pursuing this dream since I was 6 years old. I mean, I just love this shit. I mean, this is what I want to be good at in life. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a good father. I want to be a good attorney.
That's what's up, bro. And from the attorney aspect, from what I'm seeing, you're doing a pretty damn good job. And I've been knowing you've been a great father, you know what I'm saying? So
well, I appreciate that. Means the world to me, really.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you rock with her tough, you know what I'm saying? So that's another reason I want to come sit down with you, bro, just to congratulate you. I remember when you started, you know what I mean? And I remember your brother used to rock with my music.
Man, I was talking to him about the fact that I was going to see you today. I was talking about him with that last night. John said, "What's up, man?" He still remember that song word for word.
I tell him I'm still working.
Get it how you go.
Tell him I'm still working. I'm just trying to spread my resume out a little bit, you know what I mean? But before we go, I want you to let everybody out here know where they can find you, how they can get in contact with you, if they have any type of issue, or if they want to hire you, you know what I'm saying? Have a consultation with you or something, because I know that you're good, and I vouch for this cat, you know what I'm saying? 100%.
No, I'm Peter Giardino. Don't worry about messing up my last name. Everybody calls me Pete. I don't blame you for it. You know, office is located at 709 West Meadow Avenue. That's in Springdale. You could also look up we call the law firm General Practice Law Firm. We only practice criminal defense. I just figured people could remember that better than Giardino. You know, you want to hit us up, you'd like to set up a consultation, those are always free. Always love to talk to you about your issues. 479-684-6246. And I also won't lie. I told y'all I like trials. I love trials. I sit there in trials. Sometimes it's hard to hit me up for a couple of days. Leave a message, you know, I got staff. They'll get back to you. Other than that, be out there and be safe, because no lie, real talk, I'd rather see less of you than more of you.
That's what's up, what's up. Pete, man, I appreciate this opportunity.
Man, I appreciate you, see you right, man.
And y'all stay tuned, follow the drip, got more coming.